What is up, everybody? It is JDog6156, also known as Politics with JDog6156. And today we're going to be doing an alternative election history between John McCain and Hillary Clinton. For those who know, or for those who don't know, Hillary Clinton was the second runner-up in the Democratic primaries in 2008 against Obama. In this election, we have her winning the nomination, and many people would ask, who would she pick as vice president? Her VP nominee would probably be Evan Bayh. Evan Bayh. He's the senator from Indiana, and he would most likely be her preferred choice. Many people would say, oh, she would pick Obama, but if Obama didn't pick Clinton, I'm unsure she would pick him. But I do have her in this alternate history choosing Obama as like Secretary of State and stuff, so maybe that could work. But I'm not really getting into that. But right now we're going to get to this. Now, there was a difference between Obama and Hillary. Hillary had many of that old Clinton-style Democrats. When I'm talking Clinton style, I'm talking about her husband, Bill Clinton, who was president, the 42nd president. And Obama, he had pretty much the liberal support. So it was kind of like moderate to conservative Democrat versus a moderate to slightly liberal Democrat. So just expect Hillary to do best in some areas, but possibly even worse in many others. Also, I'm going based off of polling between John McCain and Hillary and the primaries between her and Obama to see where each candidate would win best. Now, with that being said, let's get into it. Let's get into the safe states for Clinton. She would win safely in Washington, California, and Hawaii. She would also win safely in Illinois. And the Northeast, she would win safe everywhere. Pretty much everywhere. Except for New Hampshire. New Hampshire, we're going to leave that as likely. New Hampshire would be basically the only outlier in the Northeast. Forgive me, there was a car. But anyway, she wins, I'm about to say Nebraska, Maine's districts, and the second district will also go likely as well. She would also win her home state of New York, most because she was a senator there. And I think that's all the safe states for Clinton. Now let's get to the safe states for John McCain. The safe states for him would be Alaska, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho. So I'm gonna leave. Okay, surprisingly, North and South Dakota were pretty, not exactly like swing state competitive, but it was definitely in grabbing distance for Democrats at the time, because the recession hit hard there, and it looked like Democrats did have a chance there. However, as for Nebraska's first, second, and first at large and third districts, they will all go solidly for McCain, along with Kansas and Oklahoma. And Alabama, because I think Hillary didn't win Alabama like Obama did, so she would lose most of the Obama base there. Now let's get into the likely states. We already got New Hampshire and Maine's second. Likely would be Oregon. Many people would say Oregon would be safe. Well, the thing is that Hillary, she did well in the South, and the Midwest. However, when it came to the West, such as these states in the plains, like around here, she didn't do that well in the primaries there. So she still wins over the Obama voters, but not to the point where it would be safe in that category. However, she would also win the safe state of of Nevada, Colorado, New Mexico, and here we have the Midwest, where basically she dominates Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Iowa. She does slightly worse than Obama in Iowa. She only wins it by at least like I say by like 7 to 8 points. Only a point down from Obama, which is not bad. But she does worse than Obama in the state, but does still win. We also have Virginia. It will go to her. Virginia, fun fact, it will be the first time it voted blue since 1964, so that's a good one. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention 2 other safe states. My bad. I'm still stuck on this modern day politics. But Michigan and Minnesota would also be safe. I think Hillary, she did well in the primaries in both states. And the recession hit those areas the hardest. And with Hillary having that old school Democrat, Clinton third way policies, that would have really helped her in the state. I think that's all the likely states for her. Now let's get to the likely states for McCain. Texas would be likely, along with Arizona. North Dakota would be likely. She does slightly better than Obama in 3 of these states. Well, probably not Arizona because that's where John McCain's from. But moving on. Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi. Mississippi and Louisiana. Nah, I'm going to leave Louisiana as lean because Clinton, she would have worked well with the former Bill Clinton coalition. So maybe she could have pulled it off to the point where Louisiana could be more competitive. But as for these states that are in the Appalachians, Appalachia would be more competitive in this one. That leads us off to our lean states. And the lean states would be Missouri and Arkansas and Montana. And we just realized Clinton just won. So Montana, it was much closer back in 2008. And if Obama did like a couple points better, he would have won. Like I say, if he did 3 points better, Obama would have won the state by like a tilt margin. Also, Clinton would have won in Arkansas and Missouri due to she beats McCain in the polls there. And she also did well in the primaries in both these states, especially Arkansas, because that's technically where she was born in Illinois, but since she was like Bill Clinton's wife, she did stay there for a while. And many people did remember her as, hey, that's Bill Clinton's wife. I like Bill Clinton. I might vote for her. Okay, here's a little fun story. I legit thought Arkansas was going to be competitive in 2016. Like, for real, though. Okay, moving on. Another lean state would be Ohio. She does relatively the same as Obama in the state. Obama won the state by like 4.6, so she wins it by 4.8. Just only like 0.2% better than Obama. She also wins North Carolina by a lean margin, yeah. She would do better with like the white working class voters in every state. She would be pretty formidable as a candidate for that. Also, West Virginia, it will also go into that column. She did beat McCain in a poll in West Virginia. Basically expect like the unexpected states of 2008 to basically be based off polls. And now we have the lean states for McCain. South Dakota would be lean. South Dakota, I noticed, votes to the left of North Dakota. Could be because one state's more populated than the other. Also, South Dakota was relatively more competitive than North Dakota in 2008. So we'll also keep that in mind. Georgia would be lean because Hillary Clinton, she would have worked well with the working class voters in the state. She would also do surprisingly well in the rurals and in the Indy Atlanta metro, but she would do slightly worse there. Another lean state for Clinton would be Florida. And I say that South Carolina, I should have put this as likely. Sorry, it's been a long day, everybody. But Hillary Clinton will win South Carolina likely. And finally, we have Indiana, which would be our last state. Indiana will go to Clinton by a tilt margin. She would do slightly worse than Obama in the state, but she would still win it off, as Indiana was pretty much a surprise win for Democrats in the state. I mean, just imagine if I was about to say Virginia. Just imagine if a state such as Indiana flipped blue. That would be a nightmare scenario. But anyway, here's the map. Clinton wins by 389. McCain 141. Oh, wait, hold up. There was one more we forgot, and it was Maine's 2nd District. She wins it relatively the same. So Hillary Clinton wins by 390. McCain 148. As you can see, Clinton does well, better in the South than Obama. But in parts of the West and the Midwest, she doesn't do exactly better. Well, in the Midwest, it's relatively the same. But, yeah. See the map? Okay. So let me know what other election predictions you want me to do in the future. My comments are open 24/7, so just let me know, and I'll do it. Just make sure, when giving me an election prediction, try to make sure it's at least 1990s leading up to now, because I'm still studying the political environments of the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s. So if any of y'all got me an election prediction, make sure it's between 1992 leading up to 2020. Speaking of 2020, I plan on doing an alternate 2020 where Donald Trump runs, but COVID does not exist. Or it doesn't happen. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so this is JDog6156.